was obviously really cool to get in the game. Game 1 of the postseason for us. Yeah, just really excited to go out there and try and execute pitches and do my job.
JP on the left.
Thanks, Hunter. I wonder if you can reflect on the journey of having watched Justin Verlander pitch a lot of games growing up in Michigan and then pitching in the same postseason game as him in Game 1.
Yeah, well, you know, obviously he's had a tremendous career and he's done a lot of good things this season for us too. So just trying to learn from him in every situation that I can. Like I said, you know, he's one of the greatest pitchers of all time. So to just be around him has been really cool, and then obviously pitching the same game as him. Yeah, just as a teammate, it's cool, obviously.
Go JP again.
From your time in Sugarland this season, what did you see with both Hensley and also Jake Myers in terms of their development during the course of the year?
Yeah, so I've had the opportunity to play with Hensley quite a bit. You know, we played in Corpus together last year, and then obviously in Sugarland this year. And just like, I've been most impressed with his plate discipline. You know, I feel like he's still doing the same things as like he was in Corpus with driving the ball, you know, getting hits. You know, the guy's going to hit the ball, but I think this plate discipline has been really impressive to me, just as a teammate watching. And Jake Myers, you know, that guy, great defender. He comes in, he works every day. It was good to see, you know, his energy and stuff that he brought to the team coming off injury, you know, which is kind of tough. So that was really good to see him come in and day out and just work his tail off.
Go in the front, Adam.
Hunter, can you describe some of the conversations that you might have had when they told you were going to be on the ALDS roster, and then when you're out in the bullpen for the game, what were the first handful of innings like, and what were some of those conversations like?
Well, yeah, they just, you know, they told me I made the roster, that I was going to be a reliever, which, you know, it's kind of what I've been doing here the last couple weeks or so. In the first innings, you know, obviously, I'm sure we would have liked a little bit better start to, you know, the postseason, but you know, that kind of stuff happens. So everybody's ready to go. So just, you know, moving around, stretching out, things like that. Just being mentally prepared for when your name is called so that you can go in and pitch.
Yeah, go right in the middle here.
Hey, Hunter, Steve Schaefer, Houston Chronicle. Just wondering about like your presence in the bullpen and the compliments you have with your there. What do you see from these other relievers in terms of, a lot of people are saying this is the deepest staff maybe the Astros have ever had. Your observations just about these other guys in the bullpen, is anything like stick out to you among these bullpen guys that like wows you?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they're all, you know, everybody's different, but they're, as a whole, I would say it's very, very like calm and collected. You know, these guys, they know what they do well. You know, you have Presley, Stanek, Montero. You know, these guys, you know, everybody through and through has been doing great things all year, and you can just see the quiet confidence that they have in that they believe in themselves, and you know, you can build off that for yourself too. So I would say that's probably the biggest thing. Yeah.
Go down here in the front.
You had just pitched the 8th inning, and then I watched Montero pitch the 9th. What was your vantage point and your reaction to Jordan's homer?
Well, I was in the dugout. I was sitting next to or standing next to Chaz, and right before that, like right after Peña got the hit, Chaz said to me like, "Oh, backside homer in the Crawford box would be something here, right?" So he didn't quite go in the Crawford boxes, but you know, we'll definitely take the pull side homer for a walk-off. It was unbelievable. Yeah, it was just jaw-dropping moment.
Anything else for Hunter?
Hey, Jeremy, I wondered if you can assess your progression as a hitter just over the course of this entire season.
I feel like I've just matured. I've matured more as a hitter. You know, staying more with the game plan. You know, approach is everything. So yeah, that's been the biggest difference.
Christy. No.
Hey, Jeremy, you obviously had a huge hit in that last game. How much do you embrace coming up big in those kind of moments?
I would say you want to be the person in those situations. You know, you want to prepare for those situations, and yeah, you want to come through for the team. So the plan was just to pass it off to Jordan and let him do his thing.
Good. Adam.
You didn't see Castillo in the regular season. Just what are your impressions of him just on video, and what are you expecting to see from him tonight?
I mean, he has electric stuff, you know, as we've all seen. You know, he's a great pitcher. And, yeah, we're just going to build a game plan against him and go out and compete. You know, he's going to bring his best stuff, and we're going to bring our best stuff, and just see what happens.
Over here on your right, Jimmy.
Jeremy, when you talked about your approach, just can you walk me through what it's like to have guys like Michael Brantley and Jose Altuve as your teammates throughout the season, being in your rookie season?
I mean, those guys have been tremendous help for me. You know, ever since spring training, they all kind of just took me in. Not just Altuve and Brantley, you know, Bregman, Aledmys Diaz, Yuli. You know, they all kind of took me in and just told me how it is, you know, how to prepare, what to expect, and, yeah, how to just go out and play.
Go over on the left.
Jeremy, segundo juego de la serie divisional, ¿qué consejos te ha dado tu papá para este juego? The question is, second game of the American League Division Series. What advice did your father give you for this game?
Bueno, el papá mío solamente me dijo que lo disfrute, que no hay muchas personas que tienen esta oportunidad y que yo tengo una posición que estoy bendecido por el Señor y que lo disfrute, que juegue duro y que sea lo que Dios quiera. So my dad basically just told me to, you know, enjoy it. This is a very special experience I'm going through right now, and you know, have fun, play hard, and let the game take care of itself.
JP.
Thanks, Jeremy. I wanted to ask, how important has your experience been in the Dominican Winter League the last 2 seasons? What did you learn there, and how important is it to be able to embrace just the culture of winter ball as part of your development?
I grew so much as a baseball player in winter ball. You know, I matured so much as a baseball player because of the culture we have in the country. You know, the Dominican Republic, you know, eats, sleeps baseball. And, you know, in the United States, we have football season, basketball season, you know, we have boxing, we have all these sports to look forward to. But in the Dominican Republic, all we have is winter ball. So all year the fans are prepping for winter ball, and you know, they get crazy out there. So, you know, I matured so much. You know, just learned how to be in the moment, you know, play hard and, you know, have fun, enjoy the game.
Hi, Jeremy. In a big at-bat like there was in Tuesday in the 9th inning, how do you slow yourself down? How do you make sure you actually turn in a good at-bat in a big situation like that?
So you have your game plan going up to the plate, you know, and I say the game plan is what brings you confidence to the at-bat. And, yeah, it's just staying calm, relaxed, and let the pitch come to you, you know, not try to do too much in that situation, and just let it happen.
Okay. On your right here in the front.
Is there any different feeling for you going into this second game now that you've played a game, or did last year's run through the playoffs that you were a part of with the team kind of help even the first game not be a huge deal to you?
So the experience I got from being in the dugout last year was a big help. You know, I'm always thankful with the organization for giving me, you know, the opportunity to just be in the dugout and experience a postseason from the best seat in the house, you know, the dugout. See how much preparation goes into every single game, see the environment. So when I came this year, I had an idea of what to expect. But I would say if you're not on the field, then you don't really know what it is. So, but it was a big help.
Go on the front on the left here.
Jeremy, a lot went on in that game as far as the offense is concerned. But can you tell us about, you know, what went into the defensive mindset, especially the 2 big plays that you had in the game?
So I always say defense always has to be clean in the playoffs. You know, you have to run the bases well in the playoffs. You know, you have to play clean defense in the playoffs, and those are usually the teams that come out on top. So that's always the focus play good defense behind our dominating pitching staff, and yeah.
Go in the middle and the back.
Jeremy, ¿cómo pones en palabras lo que fue esta primera temporada, la temporada regular, y cómo mantener esa consistencia ahora en los playoffs? ¿Y sientes ya que te quitaste un poquito de presión, nervios, después de haber jugado ya el martes tu primer partido de postemporada?
Yo digo que este primer año fue un año de mucho aprendizaje, un año muy especial, ya que cumplí un sueño mío que era jugar en las grandes ligas. Y nada, poder tener la temporada que tuvimos como equipo fue algo que nunca voy a olvidar, y el primer juego también fue algo especial. Y nada, tenemos un tremendo equipo, sabemos que tenemos las piezas necesarias para tener éxito, y nada, que sea lo que el Señor quiera.
Can you give us the answer in English too, please?
So yeah, this year was a year of a lot of learning. I grew so much as a person, and special because it was my first year in the big leagues. It was a dream come true, and to have the season we had as a team, it was special. And now to be in the playoffs, we know we have the necessary pieces to have a special run. So yeah, we're just gonna take it a game at a time and go from there.
Go in the middle and the right.
Jeremy, while you were with the club last year, you might have envisioned that this would happen in 2022. Since Carlos is a free agent, there was probably going to be an opening. Have you heard from him during the postseason?
I have not heard from Carlos in the postseason, no. Actually, Martin Maldonado was talking to him on the phone, and we kind of said hello to each other, but we didn't really talk baseball. It was more of just like, how you doing, man? Doing good. Enjoy it. Have fun.
Anybody else for Jeremy? White shirt.
Dusty, when you think
Yes.
back what Jeremy Peña did in that first ever postseason game for that rookie, what are your thoughts on it, Jeremy?
Well, I mean, my thoughts are, I talked to him. It's the same game. And I talked to him and just said, hey, man, whoever relaxes the most, concentrates the most, is the most determined, is the guy that's going to, perform the best. So, when you get to this point, you can either be a wide-eyed rookie or you can be sometime a wide-eyed veteran that doesn't do any more than a rookie does. Go in the back and middle.
Hey Dusty, how much of Diaz's success against high velocity went into your decision today to start him against Castillo, and kind of what do you think overall of your team's success against high velocity pitchers?
Well, I mean, that was most of the reason. I mean, he's one of the better high velocity players, I think, not only on this team, but also, in the game. And but this is a different scenario, high velocity. This is a high velocity with a tremendous amount of movement. And that high velocity with movement is, is a little bit tougher, to hit. Go on the left back here.
Dusty, you mentioned the movement against the Blue Jays. I mean, he really did have a lot of movement. It was just blowing them away at times. They struggled to make contact. How do you, if you're a hitter, if your approach without giving too much away, how do you try to wait to the last possible second? I mean, is there any answer for that, or do you just have to be able to get a feel before it's even thrown?
Well, I mean, as a hitter, you're preparing to swing at every pitch until you decide that it's a ball. And at 100 miles an hour, if you wait till the last second to swing, it's already by you. You know what I mean? There is no last second. You just try to hope that he comes over the plate, and you don't. If you get a pitch to hit, you hope you don't miss it. And like I was told years ago by Roy Campanella, he says you only hit one pitch at a time, and you try to get a good pitch to hit, take a good whack at it, and don't miss it. Second row. Hey, man.
Jordan's obviously been an impressive hitter since he entered the league, but where have you seen him make the most progress from then until today?
Well, I've had it the last 3 years. I saw him from afar. Just probably in his pitch selection and concentration, ability to use the whole field and not just be a slugger, you know, to be a hitter with slugger's power. And like I try to tell kids, you got to be a hitter first, and then you can learn to slug if it's in you, but no matter what, you got to be a hitter first.
Go over here in the middle.
What's made Abreu so tough on lefties this season?
Can't tell you that. Sorry.
All right, third row in the middle.
Dusty, on the bullpen in general, they allowed 3 base runners in the last 5 innings on Tuesday, which really kept you in the ball game. What is it like to have this type of embarrassment of riches? I mean, and you even deepened it with Hunter Brown and Christian Javier in the bullpen, at least for now.
Well, it might be embarrassment of riches to you. I'm glad I got them, you know. And, or like Yogi Bear said years ago, if you don't have a bullpen, you don't have nothing. You know, you got to have a bullpen. And the best teams that I've been on, we had a bullpen. You know, because the biggest downer in baseball to me is a blown save when you're blown late. So I'm just glad that, you know, we have the guys that we have.
Go right here in the front on the left.
Dusty, you have a lot of aggressive but selective hitters in your lineup. What do you tell them as far as being aggressive but being selective as well?
I don't tell them anything. You know, that comes through progression of time and knowing the opposition and who you're facing. You know, I mean, it takes time to be under that controlled aggression. You know, most time when you're young, you're either aggressive or passive, but I'd rather take that aggressive person and try to make him a little bit passive and selective than I would a guy that takes all the time and try to make him aggressive. That's hard to do. You know, when in doubt, I can tell my son, when in doubt, attack.
Anyone else for Dusty?
That's it. Thank you.
All right, thanks for coming in.
Güey, quiero que te habla sujeto Oro 24 en la casa. Quiero que siga apoyando la máquina deportiva, la gente que te activa el montón. Guay.